Hello and welcome. Today I'm adding Battletoads from the Rare Collection 1 to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. Originally released for the NES in 1991, Battletoads is notorious for its difficulty, particularly the turbo tunnel, and it's also generally well regarded. The story is fairly basic stuff. Two of the Battletoads ration Zits have to rescue the other Battletoad and Princess Angelica from the evil Dark Queen.
Nostalgia.
I didn't play the NES version of Battletoads back in the day, but I did play it on the Mega Drive. I also played Battlemaniacs on the Super Nintendo. Oh, and I'm pretty sure I also played the Amiga port of it. But anyway, the main one I played was the Mega Drive version, and I can't say I was a big fan. I thought it was quite fun at first, got to the Turbo Tunnel, and I noped out. I always liked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles inspired characters, but it wasn't enough to make me want to play the game through after getting very, very frustrated with the Turbo Tunnel. I first played the NES Battletoads on Rare Replay, and I don't think I even bothered to finish the first level. So going in, it's safe to say that I'm not going in as someone with, really fond memories of the game.
Graphics.
I think it's safe to say the graphics are probably the strongest aspect of the game, with a really good presentation and the cartoony and overly elastic and expressive animation of the characters. You've got some pretty varied backgrounds as well, and I really can't criticise the graphics on any level. For the NES, it's a very polished game, and it's not a criticism for the NES, but they made good use of the hardware. But I think that's quite true of almost all Rare games for the NES.
Sound and music.
I think is also of a pretty high standard. While I don't like all the tunes, generally it suits the action very well. The sound effects are solid, so once again, as far as the NES hardware goes, they delivered the goods.
Gameplay.
One of the most remarkable things about the game is how varied it is, between the beat-em-up sections, the high-speed, the turbo tunnel stuff where you're dodging obstacles, your vertical descents, your snake riding, your jet bike racing, your sort of surfing, and other sections that even sort of mash up various other bits. You've got your obligatory swimming section, and it's safe to say that the game doesn't really like to repeat itself, and it occurs to me that the game is largely a fusion of the sort of two most famous Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, those being the Konami arcade game and the notoriously frustrating NES platform game. Anyway, the variety in game modes initially looked impressive, but as with most games that mix up their sort of game styles, none of them are all that good. It is jack of all trades but master of none. Some even feel like unfinished prototypes, and really the game is wildly inconsistent with it changing up mechanics, introducing elements and then they're gone. And then you've got your various difficulty spikes. I mean, the overall difficulty of the game, aside from being notorious, is sort of like a brick wall. But it's inconsistent. On certain stages, it's one-hit deaths. Despite the bulk of the game, you're having a health bar. And what's up with the bits where you have the things come along and steal some of your energy? That just feels like a cheap way of making things more difficult. And the amount of precision required on some of these sections is, I just think, is borderline unreasonable. I don't mind a challenge, but it's got to be a fun challenge to overcome. Whereas Battletoads feels like you're being ambushed, and getting through certain sections is like a war of attrition rather than genuine mastery. So to sum it up, you've got a variety of stages that lack refinement, difficulty that feels cheap, and some slightly iffy hit detection at times. Or at least it seems that way to me.
Overall opinion.
I think the best way I can describe Battletoads is ambitious but deeply flawed. It's extremely polished on an aesthetic front, but all it really needed was more polish on the gameplay. While there are some people who would say it's a good game and it's a fun game to overcome and there's satisfaction in that challenge, I can't say I've felt any satisfaction, just relief that it was over and I didn't have to play it again. And that's a shame because the game does have a lot going for it, and I admire what it does right, but I can honestly say I don't enjoy playing it.
Ranking.
To place it on my overall list where I rank every Evercade game ever, I've elected to put it above Gym Power but below Earthworm Jim, which puts it at 255 out of 368 games that I've ranked so far. I'm sure many would rank it higher, but as I said, I really didn't enjoy this game in the end. Anyway, that's a wrap for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.